you're gonna do what is called a brain dump. I know it's kind of a funny term, but this really helps a lot because whatever thoughts are in here, you need to get them all out on paper. Hey guys, happy to have you here today. I want to talk to you all about a work from home schedule. And this is something that has been a game changer for me once I figured out how to establish a routine working from home. I used to work in a brick and mortar school from 2005 to 2016. And as you can imagine, that schedule was made for me because whatever classes I was teaching or the students that I was working with, the school created that schedule. And then I would create the content based on my schedule. So it just ran much more smoothly. But when you work from home, you're given this freedom. And for me, in the beginning, I was working at like 3 different places, and I had online teaching, tutoring, and interpreting, and I think I even did a few other things in there. But at the time, in the beginning of my online teaching career or working from home, I was tutoring a lot more. So I really had to figure out how to balance the online teaching and the tutoring, and then sometimes even interpreting. So that was difficult. It was a little bit stressful because with tutoring, I didn't really have enough boundaries with saying no when I would just take whatever came in, and then that would kind of make other things change, so it had a domino effect. And at that time, I hadn't really established my niche audience for who I was serving. And so that's the first tip I want to give you. If you are an online teacher and you're creating a business, whether you want to recruit more, or you want to have an Etsy shop, or maybe you want to create a Teachers Pay Teachers store, whatever it may be, that's what I want to help you with today. So let's figure out what your niche is. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do what is called a brain dump. I know it's kind of a funny term, but this really helps a lot because whatever thoughts are in here, you need to get them all out on paper. And then you're going to see some patterns, and you're going to be able to kind of narrow down maybe some different segments of your niche, and that will help you with creating your content. But before we get to creating content, I want to talk to you about goal setting. Goal setting, yes, we can have a goal in our mind, but there's some real power behind creating or writing out your goals. So you want to have them handwritten, and you want to write them out consistently, not just one time. So I read this article. I will never forget the article, and you can find it in my blog post. I'm going to link my blog post in the description. But the article talked about how when you write down, handwrite your goals, you actually send a signal from your brain to your spine, which makes you take action. So it's putting those goals into action when you handwrite them. And also it helps when you share with someone you know will support you. So you're having some accountability there when you share it with someone who will kind of cheer you on as well. So write down your goals, whatever they are, and then from there, you're going to start creating content. Whether you're going to write a blog, do a podcast, or you will have a YouTube channel, you have to decide which one you want to do. Don't try to do everything. So for me, my main focus is my blog, and then once a week I do a Facebook Live, and then I repurpose the live for YouTube. Now today, guess what? I made a mistake and I forgot to record my Facebook Live, and the quality is just not very good. So I'm re-recording this video specifically for YouTube, but typically I'm recording this while I do my Facebook Live, but the content, the quality of the video is just so bad that I decided to redo it. But typically I try to do 10 to 15 minute Facebook Lives, then I get them edited and post them on YouTube. So then I do have my content in various places, but it's all a domino effect because of my blog. I know what my blog post is going to be for the week, and then from there, I do a Facebook Live about that same topic, and it creates that routine. So have the one thing that you really put a ton of effort into, and then of course you can share it on Facebook or wherever else you want to share it, but don't try to make two things your big piece or whatever, like if you're going to be all in on YouTube, don't try to also be all in on your blog. It's too much work. I've been there, I've tried to do that, it does not work, okay? So this is the thing that has made me do consistent work and put out quality content by really focusing mostly on my blog. And I want to share how I did this with my blog. I listened to a podcast actually by Amy Porterfield. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but she's an online marketer and she teaches other people how to do marketing online. And she talks about batch work. She helped me create 3 months worth of blog posts because of that podcast, which is also going to be linked on my blog. So you can go check it out there. But that was a game changer for me because I now understand how to consistently put out content and not feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. So I highly recommend that if you are doing some type of side gig business to listen to that podcast because it will keep you on track and help you create that routine. So we talked about a niche, we talked about goals. Now we're talking about content delivery and focusing on your one place where you're going to deliver your content. And then now let's talk about the tools. So the 2 tools that I use to help me stay focused, I have a planner. So this planner, I really like it because it has 2 sections to it. I'll show you guys here. So for April, you can see this part is kind of blank because these are my teaching days. These 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I do most of my teaching. And then I have all of my content written out here, what I'm going to be putting out and what I have to do. And then the other section in here is the daily section. So there's much more space on here if I want to expand on whatever my plans are. And then the other tool that I use is Google Drive with Google Documents and Google Slides and spreadsheets. But I mostly use the folders in Google Drive to create documents where I do those brain dumps, and then I have everything segmented out. So on my blog posts, I have different topics that I do. So I might do a business type of blog post. I might do an online teaching blog post or a mindset blog post. So those are some of my topics that I have for my audience. So it's all organized in my Google Drive, and I love having it there because it's not eating up space on my computer, and I know I can always find it. So those are the 2 tools that I recommend for you to plan your content. So remember to go check out my blog posts, look for the podcast. You can find the calendar on there. And then I also have a freebie planner where you can print it out if you don't want to invest in a planner. So the freebie planner, it's weekly and then daily. So it gives you some space to jot down whatever you want to do for the week and then expand on the daily one. So hope that helps you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, I do go live every Friday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time on Facebook, but then I will repurpose it for YouTube right here. All right, see you guys. Have a good one. Bye.